First at 5, a Senate stalemate is broken. The partial government shutdown may end. But first, the threat of bad weather sends some school kids home early. Now, what's next? I'm John Moore. Thanks for joining us on First at 5. We start tonight with a bout of bad weather. It caused 24 North Country schools to let out early. Lafargeville school officials say the threat of freezing rain led to their decision to close early. It's also Regents Week, which used to pose a problem when there was bad weather, but for the last couple of years, schools have had the flexibility to move exams to the next day.
Nobody wants to affect a kid's graduation date or have kids out in an unsafe situation. That's not a good choice either way. The state, with some common sense, made this rule change, and it allows for us to make sure our kids are safe, but also make sure our kids can graduate on time as planned.
Lafargeville had about 15 Regents exams scheduled for today. Those will be taken on Tuesday. More on the weather now, where it is and what it's doing. Here is John Kubas. Hi, John.
Hey, John. Yeah, well, warm temperatures this time of year, never a good thing. We're dealing with the mixed precipitation and that risk of some freezing rain, mainly north of the city of Watertown. Winter weather advisory in effect for Jefferson County until 1 a.m. A little later end time up north in St. Lawrence County. I do believe it will be ending more towards 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And actually looking at the Doppler radar itself, well, there you see that heavier snow up north around Messina, and also it's not really heavy so much as there is some light snow up there, and also that pink showing up around Gouverneur and also north of the city of Watertown. That is indicating to me anyways that mixed bag of precipitation, that light rain, that freezing rain, and also potentially a little bit of a sleet as well. Now we sent Michelle north of the city of Watertown with a camera. She's up towards Philadelphia, and she's been tracking this inclement weather. Michelle, what are you seeing outside right now?
Well, John, we've got a little bit of rain out here, not too much, kind of a drizzle, definitely some freezing rain, but take a look at the roads. Up here, driving wasn't too bad, they seem pretty clear, but I want to give you some contrast. Look at my feet here. This is ice, no traction, and actually, come with me, I want to show you something. Now bear with me, because this ice is going to make this walk a little tricky, but right now it's 30 degrees in Philadelphia, and check this out, freezing rain here. And we'll see a little more of this. So even though those roads were pretty clear on the way up, and right now your side streets are definitely going to see a little bit of this. So even if it looks clear, take a little extra time when you're driving, because these conditions are pretty dangerous. Back to you, John.
Thank you very much, Michelle. That just goes to show you the hardworking DOT crews out there spreading that salt on the roads, and that's what's keeping them just wet, and all the ice looks like off the roads. But still, take it easy out there, because we're still dealing with that winter weather advisory, and that'll last right through the evening hours, mainly north of the city of Watertown. We'll time out this precipitation because it will be warming up, and we'll also talk about the risk for some snow and also a big cool down, all that coming up later on the show. John, back over to you.
All right, John, thank you very much. In other news, the 3-day government shutdown may be just about over. Today, Senate Democrats dropped their objections to a temporary spending bill. This came after Majority Leader Mitch McConnell offered assurances that after funding the government through February 8th, he would take up legislation addressing DACA, the program protecting immigrants brought to the country illegally as children.
This immigration debate will have a level playing field at the outset, and an amendment process that is fair to all sides.
The Republican majority now has 17 days to prevent the Dreamers from being deported.
Cloture having been invoked.
Now, the House must still vote, but the legislation is expected to pass. President Trump could sign it, ending the shutdown as early as this evening. Now, the shutdown's impacts did reach the North Country. 7 News reporter Alex Valverde is with us. Has been looking into this. Alex, who was affected?
Well, John, up north in this region, Customs and Border Patrol employees are working without pay, and over on Fort Drum, soldiers and thousands of civilian workers are also doing the same. And in fact, actually, as of this morning, many civilian workers are furloughed, meaning they're not working and they're not getting paid.
Now, obviously, this struck over the weekend. Did that help?
Well, I spoke with the president of a union that represents many of these civilian workers, and he says, yes, since many of those workers didn't start work until today, the impact hasn't been that large, but he thinks that the shutdown could cause some long-term effects and confusion.
Anytime we have to go through this, there's a major impact on the employees emotionally. The uncertainty is certainly problematic, and even though hopefully we have this rectified, there's still a lot of confusion in the workforce.
And John, as you said earlier, this legislation still has to be passed by the House and signed by President Trump, and we are expecting those results tonight.
Very good. Yeah, thanks, House. And we'll learn more about this, of course, coming up at 6. Thanks a lot. Fire has destroyed a barn and killed livestock in Lewis County. The blaze broke out about 5:30 this morning at Daniel Hrim's farm on West Road in the town of Leyden. Firefighters were unable to save the barn or livestock inside, but they did keep the fire from spreading to the house and another nearby building. There's no word on how many livestock were killed. The barn was later raised to make sure the flames were out. Officials said one person was treated for smoke inhalation and the cause of the fire is under investigation. It's a proposal that could bring more lodging to the Thousand Islands and the Adirondacks. In Governor Cuomo's proposed budget, he sets aside $13 million that would go toward creating new lodging options for the North Country's tourism spots. The Thousand Islands and the Adirondacks among them. The money would be used to make full-service modern lodging options like the Thousand Islands Harbor Hotel in Clayton.
That's a full-service, actually 4-star hotel, which is a pretty high-end hotel for the North Country. But the solution for other communities might be different. It might be something that's a much smaller scale because those communities are smaller, and that's the kind of thing they need to service their.
Now, DeYoung hopes this money could help existing places and new places stay open past the summer tourism season. Well, let's find out what is happening around New York. Our first stop, New York City, where a longtime aide to Governor Cuomo is on trial. Joseph Percoco is being tried on charges that he used his relationship with Cuomo to collect bribes from 2 companies doing business with the state. Jury selection was to begin today in federal court in Manhattan. Percoco and several co-defenses have pleaded not guilty to charges of bid rigging and bribery related to state economic development projects. Cuomo himself has not been implicated. Governor Cuomo and the state Democratic Party have launched an ad campaign against the new federal tax law. This comes at the direction of Cuomo, who has said he'll urge Congress to repeal the law. The television and online campaign will be aimed at drumming up public support for a repeal. And one New York State lawmaker wants to lower the blood alcohol limit for driving. Democrat Assemblyman Felix Ortiz says the DWI threshold should be 0.05% instead of 0.08. He cites a recent recommendation from the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering and Medicine, which concluded that lowering the limit could save thousands of lives. Lots more still ahead on First at 5. Business news is next. Also, a volcano acting up in the Philippines. The hazard set at high. At an amateur sculptor horses around in the snow. Stay tuned.
You're watching First at 5, the North Country's first evening news with John Moore. Weather from John Kubis and the 7 News team.
This segment of the news brought to you by Doors Plus, garage door sales and service, Adams Center.
A new tax plan and changes are coming. How will it affect your business or your personal tax situation? There are many unknowns and lots of questions. What is known is that no matter your situation, the new changes will be complicated. Now more than ever, you need professionals to help you get those questions answered. Not some pop-up seasonal place. Give M.R. Gable a call. Appointments available in Carthage and Watertown.
It's our biggest January clearance sale ever. Save like never before on a huge selection of furniture and mattresses. Sofas as low as $368. Recliners starting at just $348. And bedrooms starting at a low $598. Cash and carry queen mattress sets starting at just $298. And remember, at Morrison's, you can shop interest-free for up to 1 full year. It's our biggest January clearance sale going on now, only at Morrison's Home Furnishings 100,000 square foot superstore.
Turn to 7 News every Thursday for Ask Your Kinney Pharmacist.
Well, Beth, it's very important to remember to take your medications. Medications work best when they're taken consistently and as directed.
Avoid combining products as they may contain similar ingredients. If you're feeling worse or not getting better after a few days, contact your doctor.
You may be surprised to hear that our bodies actually make vitamin D with help from the sunlight. In fact, about 80 to 90%.
Join 7 News for Ask Your Kinney Pharmacist every Thursday during 7 News This Morning and 7 News at noon.
Now, today's business, first at 5.
Wall Street today, the Dow Jones lost 60 points early on, but then recovered, finishing up 142 points at 26,214. Amazon calls it an experiment that could dramatically alter brick-and-mortar retail. It has opened a checkout-free grocery store called Amazon Go. It relies on cameras and sensors to track what shoppers remove from the shelves. Cash registers and checkout lines become a thing of the past. Customers' credit cards are billed after they leave the store. Amazon is the world's largest retailer. And the music streaming business Spotify getting into the news business. It is teaming up with 8 companies, including BuzzFeed, to offer news and political coverage to listeners, a feature that is called Spotlights. John Kubis has the forecast coming up next.
This segment of the news brought to you by Amco Transmission, your total car care.
At Massey's Furniture Barn, when you buy furniture, you get 25% in free furniture. Buy this sofa and love seat for only $11.86 and get $297 towards anything you want. Use your free furniture bonus toward this matching recliner and get it for just $185. Use it toward this 7-piece dining room and it's yours for only $352. Or a queen pillow top mattress set is only $82 with your free furniture bonus. Plus 1 year interest-free and free delivery. Get your 25% in free furniture now at Massey's Furniture Barn.
Are you missing bits and pieces of very important conversations? Are you avoiding family and special events due to hearing loss? 1 out of 2 people over the age of 50 have some type of hearing loss. At the Watertown Hearing Aid Center, we don't just sell hearing instruments, we sell you hearing solutions. Call Watertown Hearing Aid Center and allow us to help you hear what you've been missing.
4 million people across New York State have the protection of health insurance through New York State of Health. That's 4 million reasons to enroll.
I'm a breast cancer survivor and my 2 children are depending on me.
Because life is unpredictable. Anything can happen.
It allows me to afford the prescription drugs that my family needs.
Because it's perfect for working families like mine.
4 million reasons to enroll. What's yours? Hurry. Enrollment ends January 31st. Visit nystateofhealth.ny.gov.
First at 5, weather brought to you by Watertown Auto Sales and Drive America.
Now your weather, first at 5.
A thunderous explosion as a volcano erupts. This is Mount Mayon in the Philippines. This time-lapse video shows what happened today as it ejected a huge column of volcanic fragments, ash, and steam into the sky. It shrouded nearby villages in darkness. The mount has been acting up for more than a week, causing more than 26,000 villagers to flee. Nothing quite that dramatic in the air around the North Country, thank goodness, huh, John?
I know, just some freezing rain, right? No volcanoes to worry about. Let's get right to the numbers out at the airport. And we're still dealing with those temperatures below freezing, 29 degrees. The good news is the freezing rain has ended out at the airport in Dexter. But the bad news is it continues north of the city, say in northern Jefferson County, and also in portions of St. Lawrence County as well. Courtesy of that northeasterly wind, that's what's keeping us below freezing. Pressure right now 2998, and it has been falling, and that'll be an ongoing theme overnight tonight and during the day tomorrow as well. Our low 28, our high 35. There you see the averages, and we are off on both ends. Your records 37 below and 55 above. A cooling trend out west, 28 in Minneapolis, 41 in Denver, but mild ahead of a cold front, and that's why we're getting this little surge of warmer air. 61 in Atlanta, 58 in D.C. Nice in Seattle. They're currently checking in at 47 degrees. All right, checking out the Doppler radar. There you see those pinks and blues indicating that mixed bag of precipitation, mainly Watertown and points north. And let's go ahead and zoom in on the Doppler radar so we can see where the freezing rain is falling. There you see it around Lyme, Lafargeville, up towards Antwerp, Governor, Alexandria Bay. It looks like DeKalb and also up towards Potsdam and Canton as well. Cold enough around Messina and also up towards Lisbon and even up towards, Waddington as well. You're dealing with all snow. Now that'll change over the next couple of hours as temperatures will be on the rise. Now checking out the actual futurecast, let's go ahead and time this out. And once again, take this forecast model with a grain of salt as it may be off a little bit on the timing. There you see it by 7 p.m. Temperatures comfortably above freezing here in the city of Watertown, around 39 degrees. Still at freezing in Clayton, 32 for you, 29 in Ogdensburg, and 30 in Potsdam and Messina. Best chance for any freezing rain or snow will definitely be northern portions of the viewing area this evening. Watch what happens by 8. Things tend to settle down, so to speak, and also those temperatures will be on the rise from south to north, but still around Ogdensburg, around 30 degrees, dealing with the freezing rain potential, and also around Messina and Potsdam as well. By 10 p.m., most of the precipitation has left. In Messina, you'll be dealing with some of that freezing rain as temperatures will be around 31, 32 in Ogdensburg. And then by midnight, everything will have ended. However, another slug of moisture off to the west will move on through later on tonight and during the course of the day tomorrow as well. As far as how much ice I'm expecting, not a whole lot, anywhere from say 1 to 2/10 of an inch. So enough to slow you down, but it won't stop you. Just definitely take it easy out there on the roads and on areas sidewalks up north of the city. As far as any snow, potentially a dusting to an inch through the St. Lawrence River Valley. Couple things I am watching for your evening news at 6. A warmer day on tap for tomorrow. All rain in our forecast. It's going to get cold once again. It looks like on Tuesday night, and another nice warm up on tap for this upcoming weekend. So of course we'll talk temperatures, and we'll also talk about that extended forecast. We'll take a peek into next week too. All that coming up for you in a couple of minutes. John, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. And still ahead, lighter news, including a robotic arm with an ear for music.
On Superior Donuts, Arthur gets a new roommate who's broadening his horizons.
It's a virtual reality game. You gotta try it. Come on.
No, don't put that thing on me. I don't. Woo! Then it's a 9JKL shocker.
Don't tell your father I'm dying.
You're not dying.
Just like that. Only let Josh do it. He's the actor.
New episode after a new Superior Donuts tonight.
Team Scorpion gets their toughest assignment ever. Babysitting.
Here you go, mister.
Oh, haven't you ever heard of salmonella?
Huh?
New Scorpion tonight.
Every day, we make a difference. Enriching lives. Creating new memories. Exploring new opportunities. Sharing new experiences. Getting stronger. Living life.
Closed captioning brought to you by Meade Optical, with offices in Lowville and at 1000 Washington Street in Watertown. Proudly serving the North Country for over 100 years. We're looking out for you.
When it comes to getting the best services for your home, it's important to have all the facts.
Myth: all TV providers are the same.
Fact: Spectrum TV gives you more free HD, free primetime on demand, and the Spectrum TV app, so you can watch live TV on any device in your home for $29.99 a month. Call 844-578-2999.
Myth: with internet, there's always a catch.
Spectrum has the fastest internet starting speeds for the price, 100 megabits, with no modem fees or data caps for $29.99 a month. Plus, Spectrum Voice gives you unlimited calling in the U.S., Mexico, Puerto Rico, and more for $29.99 a month. Call 844-578-2999.
Myth: getting the best price means signing a contract.
With Spectrum, there are no contracts and no termination fees. The fact is, Spectrum gives you the best services at the best value. Get Spectrum TV, internet, and voice for $29.99 a month each. Call 844-578-2999.
This segment of the news brought to you by Carthage Area Hospital, the place for personal care.
On the lighter side tonight, a snowman's just a little too simple. A West Virginia man went for something a little more challenging, a snow horse. Max Gonzalez said it took him over 5 hours using old garden tools, paint, and grass. The amateur sculptor said he loves to create things, and previously he built a snow cat. Well, it's a robot with an ear for music. A Polish engineering student combined his passions for music and technology, and the result is a robotic arm that accompanies him in his music rehearsals. Let's listen in. The student's supervising professor calls him a unique student, which I think we would say goes without saying. And he told them to have the check ready. Then he banked in a $100,000 shot. Lakers fan Suni Strong won the Mandalay Bay Big Shot jackpot yesterday. At the end of the third quarter, during the Lakers game against the Knicks, he took one dribble, sank the shot, and then, of course, did a little bit of celebrating. How does diet affect a baby's brain? We'll find out in health news coming up next.
You had an accident. You're injured, and you did as your insurance agent instructed. Since then, delay after delay. No idea what's happening. You're tired of going it alone, so you phone me, Joe Stanley. We complete the intake, and we agree how we're gonna work together. You'll always know what's happening with Stanley Law's GPS tracker. We can keep in touch 24/7. That gives you peace of mind. Know where you're going and when you're gonna get there.
There was no doubt in my mind to start with that hospice would be not only beneficial, but it's enjoyable. It's actually enjoyable. The ladies who come here every day, Melissa and
it becomes
Denise
an extended
in
family.
That's exactly right. But the smile is the most important tool to make Ed's life better. And they have that. Every one of them.
Have a great day.
You ready, babe?
Yep.
How do you become the most trusted brand of SUVs?
We've got room.
You make it for those who are running a bit late, run into a little trouble, or might just be running low.
Alexa, tell Starbucks to start my usual order.
That's Ford, and that's how you become the most trusted brand of SUVs. Get a Ford Explorer with 0.9% financing for 60 months plus $500 cash back, or lease for just $249 a month at your local Ford store.
Well, under a doctor's care, prescription medications are valuable tools for health and recovery. Along with keeping them locked up and secured, they should also be disposed of properly when you are finished with them. Check with your pharmacy about their turn-in policy or use an improved drop box. Keep your meds, no matter what they are, from being picked up and misused. Isn't that right, Natalie? For more information, contact the Alliance for Better Communities.
This segment of the news brought to you by Truesdale Furniture.
Now your health, first at 5.
A new study confirms the dangers of alcohol consumption in teens, and food for thought concerning newborns and toddlers. Nikki Batiste has some of today's top health stories.
A new policy statement from the American Academy of Pediatrics puts the spotlight on brain development during a baby's first 1,000 days of life. Expectant moms are encouraged to have a diet filled with protein, vitamins, and minerals so the baby's brain grows and develops normally. The organization also recommends breastfeeding and healthy food choices for toddlers. Researchers in Sweden say teens who drink alcohol increase their risk of developing cirrhosis later in life. The study suggests that guidelines for safe alcohol consumption may need to be changed to avoid liver disease. In some countries, the alcohol cutoff level for men is about 3 drinks. New evidence shows cognitive behavioral therapy is a clinically and cost-effective way to treat adolescents diagnosed with depression. The study published in Pediatrics finds teens who have therapy recover faster than using antidepressant medication. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Nikki Batiste, CBS News, New York.
And we'll be back next to Pick a Pet.
Abby, it looks like a state of hugeness has been declared for the entire region.
That's right, folks. I don't advise on buying a vehicle until you talk to Billy first.
Head into Fusillo Mitsubishi in Watertown, where you can drive home a new 2017 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport for only $19,995. And see all the huge selection of savings anytime at FusilloMitsu.com.
Hurry, deals like that won't last long.
Shop safe, folks.
No way your furniture's here already.
Raymore and Flanagan, 3-day delivery.
Do not mention delivery.
Ever wonder if there's a better way to shop for furniture?
Let me show you.
Wow.
Raymore and Flanagan.
Have my new living room.
Bigger selection.
That is beautiful.
Better service.
Come together, right?
No.
Guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less.
Isn't it great?
That's what I needed.
Awesome.
Where'd you say she got her furniture from?
Raymore and Flanagan. Great style, delivered.
Join 7 News This Morning on Fridays as Chef Chris Manning presents some of the most unique recipes. Brought to you by Coyote Moon Vineyards.
4 million people across New York State have the protection of health insurance through New York State of Health.
I can afford preventative care for my children.
Accidents can happen.
4 million reasons to enroll. What's yours? Hurry. Enrollment ends January 31st.
Jeopardy warms you up with a big bowl of
soup, of course. Good news, a reptile is not the main ingredient in mock this soup. Bad news, it's a calf's head cooked in water.
Can you uncover the answer?
Weeknights at 7 on TV 7.
First at 5, Pick a Pet, brought to you by Bill's Feed.
Time now to pick a pet with Les Shockley.
John, tonight on Pick a Pet, we have 2 younger dogs and a black cat up for adoption. First up, we have Chance, a 1-year-old male Beagle Mastiff mix. You can adopt Chance at the Jefferson County SPCA. Up next, Tank, a 1.5-year-old male pit bull mix who loves kids. You can adopt Tank at the Lewis County Humane Society. And last, we have Nadia, a 1-year-old female black short hair that can be adopted at the Potsdam Humane Society. And that's tonight's Pick a Pet. You can always pick a pet by going to our website at wwnytv.com and scrolling to the bottom of the page, where you can view all of our available pets up for adoption. For Pick a Pet, I'm Les Shockley.
All right, well, let's get a look at what's coming up in about half an hour. Here now is Jeff Cole.
All right, John, at 6, Watertown's decision apparently pays off. December's overtime costs have been tabulated. It is the first full month since City Council told the department not to backfill and pay OT when a firefighter calls in sick. Also, John, what's 30 feet tall, made out of hay, race car tires, and a traffic cone? We'll go to the town of Champion to find out at 6.
Well, I don't know, Jeff. That's a pretty good riddle. I guess I'll have to stick around and watch 7 News at 6. That's First at 5 for tonight. Thanks for joining us, and have a good evening.